What's up, guys? Haven't been cammed up in a while. First of all, I just want to say the live streaming of the games. Um, I haven't done it in a while. I'm not going to be doing it anymore this season. The live streaming of the games is officially done for the near future, for sure for this season. Just in a bit of a personal situation right now where something might come up. I might have to suddenly leave or anything like that. And I don't want to be live streaming a game and then something happens and I got to cut it. So with the situation I'm in right now, it's probably not a good idea. Okay, that being said, let's move on to the thing everybody cares about, and that is the game. Got some comments here. Huge win, good win. How about them Cowboys? Great game. I need blood pressure medicine. Coop had a big game today. Crazy game. God bless, brother. Dak tried to give the game away. I'll get to that in a minute for sure. Glad to hear from you, man. Great win. 5 in a row, baby. 16 views a minute in, and I haven't been on camera in, 3 weeks? I got to say I'm honored, guys, that, despite me not being on camera for any length of time, you guys are right here to embrace me and welcome me back with open arms every time I'm able to get on here. Hopefully I'll be able to be here for at least most of the games from here on out. And I'm just going to address one thing before I get into the game. Don't nobody call me a fucking bandwagon. Okay, I haven't been here for a single game of this win streak, I don't think, except for whenever I made my, if you could even call it a pregame video for the Redskins on Thanksgiving Day. I wasn't even here to rub it in everybody's faces about beating the Saints. People that know me on here, I've been doing this for a long fucking time. I'm not a bandwagon. I've been waiting my entire life to see a fucking defense like this. Let's bring on them Colts. Colts are going to be tough. Eagles already blaming refs. I want to get to this really quickly, right off the bat. Dak Prescott. Dak, and by the way, am I moving? Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Is picture and audio syncing up and all of that? Because this is my first time doing it for this with this webcam, so I don't know how well it's going to work. On my end, it looks like it's lagging, but I've done that before when it looked like it was lagging over here, and then I went back and watched it after it was actually posted, and it was fine. So, guys, and what I'm about to say, I believe it with every fiber in my being. We would win the Super Bowl if we have a quarterback. If we, and look, Dak threw for like 400 something today. Whatever, it's all good, more power to him. But his fumbles are an issue. His consistent need to overthrow wide open receivers that would have walk-in touchdowns is a problem. He had the 2 picks, and then he had the fumble that he lost. And he hasn't thrown a pick in a while. I think it was 165 pass attempts between his last interception and this one, the first one that came today. But especially his fumbles are a recurring issue because he had been getting lucky there for a while, and we were getting most of those back. So it's like, even though he has a fumbling problem, people don't really bat an eye at it because it doesn't really show up on the stat sheet as a turnover because you recovered the ball. But I said it the whole time during all this time when he kept fumbling. One of these times, we're not going to get one of those back, and it's going to be at a pivotal point in the game, and it's going to ruin a lot of things. And I was so angry with Dak that at the end of the game, when Joe Looney snapped the ball into the dirt, and we had a forfeit trying to kick the field goal and just go into overtime, I I was already ready to blame Dak. God damn it, Dak, fucking Dak. Before the replay even came on, before it was even, clear that it was, in fact, Looney's fault. Dak has a tendency to make mistakes like that at critical points in games. And so before the replay came on, and I could see very clearly that it was Looney that snapped the ball into the dirt, I thought Dak had dropped it because that's the kind of thing that Dak does. I thought it got snapped into Dak's hands, and Dak put it on the ground, and we were going to go to overtime, lose the toss, and the Eagles were going to go downfield and kick the field goal. So I got to apologize to Dak on that at least. Despite your other mistakes, that one was not your fault. But I don't think, given Dak's history with doing things like that, I don't know that I was the only one that probably thought initially that Dak was the one to put that ball down before it actually came out that Looney was the one that snapped it into the dirt. That being said, Cooper is a fucking monster. 3 touchdowns. I think it was 3 touchdowns. Dak had the 2 really big ones to Cooper. One of them for sure was a really nice throw with pinpoint accuracy. But I saw so many other times Cooper would have 5 yards of separation on his guy, and if he gets the ball put on him, he would walk into the fucking end zone, and Dak overthrows him by 10. Same thing with Gallup. And I hate to say this, I really do, and it's going to spark a lot of debate, and it's probably going to make some people turn against me that usually aren't. But I believe if Romo plays today, we win this game easily. I know Dak had 3 touchdowns. I know that what's it called? That he threw for 400. And I know what people say about, Romo was a gunslinger. He had a tendency to throw picks too. But Romo was fucking deadly accurate, bro. Romo would not miss Gallup wide open on the left side when he had fucking 10 yards of separation on his guy. Romo would not have missed Cooper all the times that he missed him when he had 10 yards of separation on his guy. And yeah, I know, Dak was able to settle down and hit Cooper for the 2 big ones. I think he got a decent one, decent distance to Gallup. But that's one thing I don't understand. Yeah, Dak threw 400 yards. They popped up a stat. It was at the end of the 4th quarter. It might have been overtime already. 37 out of 49 for 397 yards. Why is Dak throwing 50 fucking times when we have Zeke? I don't know what Zeke's final numbers were. I know he was running all over them. I'm pretty sure he got over 100 because he went into halftime with like 86 or something. Yeah, Cowboys fan 88. We could lose out and still win the East. Yeah, that's pretty much a wrap. It's not a question anymore of are we going to make the playoffs. It's more so what are we going to do when we get there. And I have full faith in this defense to be able to hold it down. I don't know that I have the same amount of faith in Dak Prescott, and that hurts me to say because I've always been one of his biggest supporters on here against the hypocritical Romo fans. And Romo gone man never again. Yeah, that wasn't the point of that. I'm not wishing for Romo back or anything like that. I have accepted that Romo was gone. I have long accepted that. I have stood up and battled in Dak's corner against some of the more, obsessed Romo fans. But and like I said, it hurts me to say, but I really believe that if we had a different quarterback, that we probably win this game pretty easily. And that's not a knack on Dak. That's not. Dak, he is what he is. We know find out what he is. He's an elusive guy. He can do the read option stuff. He's better at throwing on the run. He's not a pocket passer. He's about 50-50 on deep balls. Some of those he's going to hit. Some of them he's not. And Cooper is his favorite target. And he's not afraid, even on a design pass, he's not afraid to tuck it and run. That's what Dak is. He's not a guy stand back there, shred you for 400 yards. Yeah, he did 400 yards today, but that was only because we had him put the ball up 50 fucking times. Normally, more often than not, that's not what Dak is. But to throw 49 times and complete 37 of those, I think that he shut a lot of people up. But the problem is he's got those 2 interceptions in there, and he's got that fumble. The fumbles are going to have to stop, man. They're going to have to stop. The interceptions, kind of maybe say what you want. He had 165 pass attempts between his last interception and his first one that came today. But the fumbles, man, are going to have to stop. This is becoming a recurring theme with him putting the ball on the ground, and it's getting bad, guys. It's getting bad. It's like I said, it's to the point where when the ball hit the ground at the end of the game with like 16 seconds left or whatever it was, I was already yelling at Dak before the replay came up and showed that Looney was the one that put the ball into the ground or anything. I was already yelling at Dak because I'm used to him doing that. And even though I got to apologize to Dak, because it wasn't his fault and it was Looney, and I did, judge him prematurely and go off before the replay came on and all of that. It's because of his history and the things that he has done. The reason why that was such an easy knee-jerk reaction to have is that the ball goes on the ground. Oh, God damn it, Dak. Oh, shit, it wasn't Dak. It was Looney. My bad. But you're so used to Dak doing things like that it's easy before you even see anything to just assume that that's what happened. This defense, I really wish I could have been here last week to talk about what happened with the Saints. That was awesome. I've shut up a couple of people on that one, but I want to talk about one thing, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with the game, with this game so much. It does, but it doesn't. I am so sick of the, pussification of the league. You have Randy Gregory. And I don't know if it was a makeup call or what it was, because they had just called Goddard for offensive PI that clearly wasn't PI that took a touchdown for them off the board. I don't know if it was a makeup call for that or what, but we have seen calls like this consistently. Randy Gregory comes over. He gets basically tackled. Pretty sure that they missed the holding on the offensive line anyway. But that aside, Randy Gregory basically gets slammed into the ground. As he's going down, he reaches for Carson Wentz's leg, wraps up on it, and pulls him down by his leg. And they called roughing the passer on, which I knew as soon as Wentz went down and that flag came out, I knew that's what it was because I've seen that same thing called before. And the Cowboys fan 88, I think it was a makeup call. Yeah, that particular time it may well have been, but I have seen calls like that in the past in that exact same situation that looked exactly the same. That was just a regular, legit call. They just called it like that. And I don't get it. It's getting to the point with these quarterbacks where just fucking give them flags and get it over with. Right? Just fucking give them flags. You're not allowed to hit them because you're already almost not allowed to hit them. You can't go high. You can't go low. Which Gregory, if he wanted to get the sack, that was all he could do because, like I said, he's getting thrown into the ground as he's reaching out for Wentz's leg. So he's either going to give up on the play or he's going to go for the sack. And what you're doing is you're teaching these guys to give up on plays. Don't play to the whistle. Pull up where you might get flagged. And that is so not football. What about the fumble they gave back to the Cowboys? Well, I believe the rule is that it has to be a clear recovery. Clearly, the ball was fumbled, but it has to be a clear recovery by the defense, and in order to switch the possession. And there was no clear recovery. There was 3 or 4 Eagles around the ball. There could have been all 11 Eagles standing around the ball. I really don't care. There wasn't a clear recovery. That is the rule. If you don't like it, petition the NFL to have the wording of the rule changed. It was a good call according to what the rule was. I'm not a homer that's just going to say every call that favors my team was a good call and every call that goes against my team was a bad call. I just stood right here and told you that the touchdown that got pulled off the board for the Eagles for the offensive PI on Goddard was fucking bullshit. I just got done and told you that. Whoever comes up with the ball gets it. No, that's not really how it works all the time. But I just got done saying, like I said, I'm not a homer with the refs, okay? I just got done saying, which it didn't end up mattering because the Eagles scored anyway, and it still went to overtime anyway. But the call, whenever they took the touchdown off the board that Goddard got, because they got up for offensive PI running into Jeff Heath, was bullshit. But yeah, Cooper, I almost said Cooper Rush. Amari Cooper is about the most loved man in Dallas right now, and I gotta give credit to somebody really quick. Jason Garrett. I have been very critical of you on my time here. I have gone as far as to say I wanted you fired. I wanted Scott Linehan fired. I wanted anybody on the staff that you hired fired just because they were connected to you. But in overtime, not only going forward on 4th down, but having the balls to say, you know what, I got the best running back in the league. I want people to believe we have the best offensive line in the league. It's 4th and 1. It's overtime. If we kick a field goal, the Eagles are going to go down the field, and if they get a touchdown, then the game is over. But I also trust my defense. Even if we don't convert, I trust my defense that's been playing lights-out football to be able to stop them anyway. So I'm going to go for this. I'm going to give it to my stud, and I'm going to let him go get this yard. And that is exactly what you did. And I have been waiting for you to have some balls. And I know that there's been time during this season that you've had some balls, but it always seems like pretty much every game there's 1 or 2 instances where you can go back to and you could say Jason Garrett probably should have been more aggressive there. And Jason Garrett's just absolute insistency for whatever reason to be conservative and play it safe in most cases has lost us a lot of games. And I think he's feeling the heat a little bit this year because it wasn't that long ago. I know it seems like forever ago, but it wasn't that long ago that we were 3-5. And the sky was falling, and we were talking about firing coaches and cutting and trading Dak or cutting them at the end of the year or whatever. But the truth with all of that, I say all of that to say, again, like I said, number one, I got to shout out this defense. 10 points to the Saints, and our defense today, they pretty much gave up 17 points. I'm not going to hold that on them. That one interception, and the Eagles got the ball already inside the 10. I don't remember exactly where they were, but I'm not going to fault them for that. Pretty much the defense gave up 17 today. And another thing that we can't forget is Jake Elliott, the Eagles kicker, did miss an extra point at the early start of the 3rd quarter. If he had made that, then they would have been up by a point in the 4th quarter, and we wouldn't have even been in overtime. We would have lost this game. Now, of course, there's other arguments. Like I said, at some point, clearly the Cowboys would have gone for 2 to counteract that. Maybe we would have gotten it, and maybe we would have went to overtime anyway. But there was some things in this game that favored Dallas, and there was some things in this game that favored the Eagles too. And Garrett sucks. Yeah, I'm not ready to come on here and name Jason Garrett Coach of the Year by any means. I'm not ready to come on here and kneel down and kiss his feet and say I was wrong about you by any means. But I will give him credit for today. I will give him credit for having the balls to go for it on 4th and 1. On not only go for it on 4th and 1 in overtime, but to give it to Zeke, not try to get cute, not try to do anything fancy, not, oh, well, they're expecting us to give it to Zeke, so we can't do that kind of shit. You want people to believe you have the best running back in the league. You want people to believe you have the best offensive line in the league, at least run blocking wise. Pass protection is another issue that definitely needs to be addressed come playoff time. But there's no reason. And I've seen that from this coaching staff so many times. And, why didn't you just give it to Zeke? You had 1st and goal, inside the 5. Why didn't you give it to Zeke? Oh, well, we can't do that because they're expecting us to do that. Just because they know you're going to do it doesn't mean they won't be successful. That's why we were so good in 2014, because we had the Mark Humber, we had this offensive line, we had Tony Romo, and it'll be 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. We're going to run the ball. Everybody knows we're going to run the ball. Everybody in the stadium, including the defense, knows we're going to run the ball. And we're not going to do anything fancy. We're not even going to so much as do a misdirection on it. We're going to hand it to DeMarco Murray, and he's going to pound it right up the fucking middle and punch him in the mouth. You know what we're going to do, and we're going to do it anyway because we're fucking better at it than you are. That was the story of 2014. So if you want people to think that about Ezekiel Elliott and this offensive line this year, like I said, at least run blocking wise, pass protection definitely needs to be addressed. Stop trying to get cute with it. Stop, we can't do that because they're expecting us to do that. Who fucking cares? That is your identity. This is a running football team. I don't give a fuck if all 7 billion people in the world know we're going to do it. Give the ball to Zeke and let him go get that fucking yard because 9 times out of 10, he will. And we've been feeding Zeke a lot more during this 5-game winning streak than we were during the course of the time when we were 3 and 5. And we're seeing the results of that. Yes, like I said, I got to give Dak credit. He 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had the 2 picks. I'm not so concerned about those. Well, I am because pretty much both of them, well, the one to Cooper should have been a touchdown. Cooper was wide open in the back of the end zone, and then he underthrew the ball. That's solely on Dak. And then, again, the other one, he had Gallup wide open in the middle, completely overthrew him, threw it right to the linebacker, picked off. That's only on Dak. The fumbles is more what I'm concerned about right now because he had 165 passes between his last interception and his first interception today. It seems like he's fumbling 2-3 times a game now. That is what scares me. His interceptions don't scare me. His fumbles have to be corrected because you cannot keep asking this defense to stand up and bail you out time and time and time again when you just keep putting the ball on the ground and keep putting the ball on the ground and keep putting the ball on the ground and keep putting the ball on the ground. Okay, defense, he fumbled again. Go get it back for us. Okay, 3 and out. Okay, defense, he fumbled again. Go get it back for us. Okay, 3 and out. Eventually, especially when you get into the playoffs, you start facing some of these better offenses like your Rams, which, by the way, Jerry Jones was fucking stupid to say that our offense is anything comparable to the Rams' offense. But anyways, your defense isn't going to be able to stand up like that. And I was what we saw against the Saints last week. I'm not going to say that's not what this defense is, but this defense is not going to do that every week. I was ready because I've seen it so many times before. I was ready when Drew Brees got the ball back with like 2 minutes left, and it was 13-10. I was ready for him to march down the field and score because here's the story. Defense has stood on their head all fucking game. Offense can't do shit. Defense gets the ball back for them. Offense can't do shit. Offense goes and scores. Defense gets fired up, gives them the ball on a turnover. Offense can't do shit with it the second time. Maybe they turn it over or whatever. And the defense just keeps getting the ball back for you. Offense don't do nothing. To get the ball back for you, don't do nothing. Get the ball back for you and don't do nothing. Get the ball back for you and don't do nothing. And then at the end of the game, okay, well, now the defense is tired. They're gassed. They've been playing their hearts out all game. They just don't have it anymore. And then Drew Brees just Tic-tac-toe, right down the fucking field, through all the holes in our tired-ass defense to score the touchdown to win the game. That's what I thought was going to happen. And I'm sorry for not doubting this defense, because I've never thought that this defense could do it. I was one of the first people to come on here at the beginning of the year and tell people that this defense was going to be real. And I told people all week, not on here, but all week leading up to that Saints game, that this defense is going to do something to shock you. And they weren't hearing it. Nobody was having it. And then that's what happened. But guys, Cooper, the only reason we are a threat of a first-round exit right now is because of who our quarterback is. With this defense, with Ezekiel Elliott, with Amari Cooper, if we had a different quarterback, I'm not going to say anybody else because there's quarterbacks playing in the league right now that are worse than Dak. But if we had a quarterback that's maybe a little bit better than Dak, nobody would be able to stop us. With this defense, if we had a better quarterback, you might as well give us the Lombardi Trophy now. And that's not being cocky. That's calling us what it is. You saw what we did to the Saints last week. You saw how well we played against the Eagles today, which is a division game. So maybe I digress on that. We held the Falcons, another high-potent, high-scoring offense. We held them down. I don't know if 23 points is going to get it done. Or 29 points is going to get it done against most teams in the playoffs. I mean, even there at the end, and I'm surprised it actually took me this long to mention it, Dak tried to lose the game again right there at the end. He tried to throw a pick. He literally tried to throw a pick on that play when Amari scored. Dak tried to throw a pick on that play. He threw it right to the defender almost. I forget who the defender was, but he basically threw it right to him. The defender tips it off his hands, and then Amari tips it. The defender tips it again, and then Amari catches it and walks into the end zone. That was heads-up awareness by Amari. And all of that stuff. But Dak, even right there at the end, even the play that we scored on to win the game was a touchdown pass. And Dak was trying to throw an interception on the touchdown pass that ended up winning us the game. Because luckily for us, it went off the defender's arm, and Amari was right there to, oh, look what I found. Hey, Cowboys win, 5 in a row. But Dak scares me. He really does. And it may not come. The thing that I'm afraid of is it's going to come at the worst opportune time. We're going to be in the playoffs. Maybe playing the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Maybe we're going to be trailing by 5 with 2 minutes to go and 2 timeouts. Maybe we're driving down the field. Maybe we're at the 15-yard line with, 45 seconds to go with a timeout left. Maybe Dak bobbles a snap, puts the ball on the ground. They got a bull rush in, so Dak's not able to fall on it because he's getting mauled, and the Rams get the ball, and it's a game. That's the type of shit I'm afraid of with this offense. And hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they prove me wrong. But I can't, as excited as I am, I can't help but feel bad for this defense because I just think how much further would we be if we had good quarterback play. And again, Dak has played, I'm not going to say masterfully, but he has played a lot better during this 5-game win streak than he did at the start of the season. I will give him that. He's completing like 75% of his passes. Until today, he had only thrown I think 1 or 2 interceptions in that streak, and I think it came in the first game against the Eagles the first time. 400 yards today, 3 touchdown passes to Amari Cooper, but it's just the fumbles, the mental errors. Even there at the end, whenever Dak, it was like 2:04 or something left in overtime, and the game clock was shorter than the play clock. So I thought that, because what you do is, Troy made a really good point. If you're able to run this down and then you kick a field goal with no time left or only a little time left, the game is still over. Even though you only kicked the field goal, if you kick a field goal with like 30 seconds left and you made the Eagles use all their timeouts, they got to go all the way down the field and get a touchdown in 30 seconds to beat you with no timeouts. And so there's no reason to snap the ball before the 2-minute warning, take it down to the 2-minute warning, snap it on the other side of the 2, make them use their timeouts, and Dak went up there to the line. He's moving his hands and everything, and I really thought he was going to snap it. And I'm like, please don't snap this fucking football. Please don't. And he did it, thankfully. And so that's another thing that I was wrong about. But definitely Dak's fumbles have to get better. He's got to get better at a lot of things, minus the turnovers. He played relatively good today. The last set of his numbers I looked at was 37 out of 49 for 397 yards. That was either late in the fourth quarter or right at the start of overtime. But guys, with this defense, you guys don't even know. I've been waiting my entire life to have a Cowboys defense this year. I don't remember another time in my life. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was 6 years old. I don't remember another time. We've had good defenses before. I don't remember another time in my entire Cowboys fanhood where we have had a team, a defense, a Super Bowl caliber defense, which is exactly what this is. I firmly believe, especially after last week, this defense can stop any offense in the league. Gone are the days where we're going to have to outscore you. Gone are the days of 40 first downs. Gone are the days of 700 yards of offense to one team in one game. Gone are the days of getting shredded by one receiver for 300 yards. But it's just, if we play the Rams, for example, and our defense holds them to 14 points and the offense can only muster 10, congratulations, defense. You stood tall, but our offense couldn't help you out either. It's the opposite of what it was when Romo was here. When Romo was here, the offense had to do everything, and the defense couldn't help out no fucking body. And we pretty much knew if we don't score like 35 points at least, we're going to lose this game. It's the flip side of that now. Defense is going to do most of the work. If the offense can just be somewhat productive, get a few touchdowns, maybe a field goal, that's good enough. That's good enough to win most games against most offenses. We don't have to outpace you anymore. We don't have to outscore you anymore. We don't have to win shootouts. We got a defense that can stop. Our defense last week just held the NFL's leading MVP candidate to 10 points. Let that sink the fuck in. I don't know if Dak is that bad. Dak has a lot of good qualities. I don't know if I would go that far to compare him to Dilfer and Brad Johnson. I mean, I see what you're saying. But Dak, he's got a lot of good qualities. He's a warrior. He's got every game, it seems like he's got like one or two of those runs that, I call them Dak runs or warrior runs where, he should be down. Probably most other quarterbacks would be down. Dak is going to suck it up, take the hits, pinball through there, maybe make a couple of guys miss, whatever it is, and he knows where he's got to get to on the field, and he is just bound and determined to get there. You're not going to get that from either one of those guys. He's not the best passer in the league, but again, like I've been saying all year, we did not draft him to be a passer. He's a playmaker. He's an elusive guy, read option scrambles, throwing on the run and bootleg, all that type of stuff. I'm tired of seeing Dak in the pocket doing this. That's not what he is, and we need to use him to his strengths. But I don't know, guys. I really don't. Like I said, as elated as I am, I can't help but feel bad for this defense because I feel like, and you can say, oh, you don't believe in your team or whatever, but I feel like when it comes playoff time, which we're going to make it, Giants are 3 games back from us, so we can officially eliminate them with a win next week against the Colts, regardless of what the Giants do. Even if the Giants win their game, I don't even know who they're playing. As long as we win ours, they would be 3 games back with 2 left. So a Cowboys win next week eliminates the Giants regardless of what they do. Eagles and Redskins now have the same record. They're both 6-7 after the Redskins got mauled by the Giants today, 40-6. So the Eagles we have the season sweep of the Eagles, 2-0, so we own that tiebreak there. We're split with the Redskins 1-1, but then we have a better division record than they do, so we own that tiebreak. And we're 2 games up on them with 3 left. So even if we just had an epic collapse and one of them was able to catch us, we own the tiebreak on both of them. So we pretty much unofficially won the division today. So it's not a matter of are we going to make the playoffs, are we going to make the division? It's a matter of who are we going to play, what team are we going to be. And I don't think we have to worry about a first-round bye or home field advantage or anything like that. But it's a matter of who are we going to play, what team are we going to be, and what are we going to do when we get there. Specifically, what is the offense going to do? Because I don't believe that this defense is a regular season anomaly that's just going to completely piss the bed once we get to the playoffs and open the floodgates and let 40 points to some piss poor wild card team, which I say that, but the problem in the playoffs, or should I say the question mark in the playoffs, is going to be our offense. That's what people are going to be talking about. Our defense, throughout this 5-game winning streak, and especially last week, showed the entire world that they can hang with anybody, and they can hold the best of the absolute best in check. See Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. The offense is what scares me because I don't know. Our defense isn't just going to go out there and hold elite offenses to 10 points every single time. Sometimes you're going to get bested. And sometimes your offense is going to have to take up that slack. Even if it's just for one series. You have one defensive miscue against like a Rams team. Okay, now it's 17-14 in the fourth quarter, per se. Defense has stood on its head. They fell one of the top offenses in the league to 17 points. You're down 3. Can you put your fucking bootstraps on and drive down the field and get this touchdown to win the game to tell your defense thank you for keeping you in? That is what the difference is going to be. Do we have that? Will we have that? I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I usually try to keep these post games between 30 to 40 minutes. You guys that are watching, that are still watching, you can comment down below because I've seen a couple of people giving feedback already. If you want me to continue doing post-game live streams, or if you want me to just record a video after the game and upload it. Live streaming is a new thing that I started trying. That way I can get interaction from the fans, answer fan questions, and all kinds of things like that. But all that aside, guys, Our defense, ain't nobody going to stop our defense in the playoffs. It's a matter of can our offense rise to the occasion just a little bit. Just a little. You don't have to be elite. You don't have to be great. You really ain't even got to be good. Can you give me 23 points a game? 25 points a game? Ultimate MMA fan. I've had some personal things going. I don't want to get all into it, but it's been a lot going on. I was living up in Ohio. Recently moved back to Texas, hopefully permanently. But yeah, all that aside, question marks not on the defense, guys. We know by now what the defense is. We have an identity. We know what the defense is. We know that the defense, especially after last week, can hold the best of the absolute best in check. The question is, can the offense step up just a little bit, just by the most minute of margins, and help them out? Just a snip. Just a little bit. You don't have to give me 45 points. You don't have to give me 35 points. Most games, you probably ain't even got to give me 30 points. 25 points will probably win you a lot of games with this defense. I know we got 29, but 25 would have won it because the Eagles only got 23. And I am so scared for Dak right now because there's a lot of people in Dallas that don't like him already because of just the way he got his job. And I've never been one of those people. I've always defended him against those people. I've always thought it was stupid to hold him accountable for that. I've always felt like Dak got a little bit too much hatred. And then people would twist that, that I was saying that Dak is a better quarterback than Romo was, or some stupid shit, which I never said. There's a lot of people in Dallas who don't like him already just because of that, just because of the way that whole thing went down, and they're just bitter about it. And make no mistake, Dak has not been the best quarterback by any means. Even during this win streak, he's been playing better. But if our defense doesn't play the way that they play, even with Dak playing the way that he played, we probably lost at least 2 of those 5 games, maybe even 3. Damn sure would have lost Saints game. So there's a lot of people in Dallas that don't feel too kindly about Dak already just because of that. If Dak gift wraps a win for another team in the playoffs after this defense stands on its head and tries to win it for us, we might get run out of Dallas, guys. With this defense that we have right now, even with Dak at QB, anything short of appearing in the NFC Championship game is absolutely unacceptable. And you could say, oh, you're getting ahead of yourself, or, calm down, Tiger, or anything like that. With this defense, with what I've seen out of this defense throughout these 5 games, with what I've seen out of this defense today, and especially last week, they can hold it down against anybody. If the offense can step up just a little bit and help them out just a little bit, anything short of, I'm not even going to say winning it, but anything short of at least playing for the NFC Championship is a lost effort to me. With this defense that we have right now, there should be no reason why we shouldn't at least get there, especially with Zeke and Cooper and all the other moving pieces that we have on our offense, Beasley, getting tight ends involved, Schultz and Jarwin, and all those guys. Offensive line starting to gel a little bit again. Dak made some terrible mistakes today, definitely not perfect, but he stepped up big when he needed to. Yeah, like I said, I didn't want this to be a shit on Dak video. All Dak has to do I'm gonna say all Dak has to do is drive the bus and not crash it, but he at least needs to make it to the hotel. If you get what I mean. I will call our defense elite without hesitation. I have no bones about that, calling our defense elite. But Dak is going to have to help them out just a little bit. So to say all he has to do is not crash the bus, I think is a little bit too generous, because at some point, it's like that saying, defense wins championships. I've never been too fond of that because, yeah, but you still got to score. If your defense holds them to 3 points and you can't score any, congratulations, you got an elite defense, but you still lost because your offense sucks ass. See what I mean? So I'm not going to say all Dak has to do is not crash the bus, but he ain't got to drive it all the way to the destination either. All he's got to do is make it to the hotel. That's it. Can you get me 2 touchdowns and a field goal? And then maybe Zeke will get a touchdown in there. That's 24 points. With this defense, that will win you some games. Pull my hair out after the second pick that was returned inside the 5. Yeah, that's why, guys, I'm just so scared for Dak right now. I really am. And I hope, believe me, nobody wants to be wrong about this kid more than me. I hope Dak goes in the playoffs and fucking tears it up at those fucking 14 touchdowns and no picks and averages 350 yards a game and shuts everybody the fuck up. I just don't see it happening. I feel like our defense is gonna have to bail us out. It's not that I think they can't do it. I have seen very clearly that they can. But the problem is, with some of those mistakes are going to come late in games, and your defense isn't going to have time to bail you out. Fumbling with 1 minute and 45 seconds left when you're down 5 and don't have any timeouts. Ain't shit defense can do about that. They've kept you in the game. You pissed it away back to the other team. And in the regular season, something like that can be lived with and mitigated a little bit. If we lose a playoff game because of that, because of him, with this defense that we have right now, with Coop and Zeke and everything else we got, Dak may get run out of Dallas with pitchforks. And that sounds bad. But it won't be at my behest, trust me. But there's people that don't like him already just because, like I said, just because they're bitter about how the whole Romo thing went down, how Dak even got in here in the first place. Which isn't really his fault. And I've never faulted him for that. Like I said, to me, with this defense that we have, and I know that Dak can do it because I've seen him play very good games. With our defense being elite and our offense being average, and people are going to troll me for saying this, but I really don't care. Anything short of playing for the NFC Championship is a bust to me. It's a wasted season. We traded away our first-round pick, which I'm not going to come on here and say that was a bad trade. I've eaten my words twice this year. I've eaten my words on Leighton Vander Esch, the tackling Dutchman. Whenever we drafted him instead of a receiver. They're talking about, should Sean Lee even start when he comes back? I was wrong about that, and I was wrong about Cooper. Not that I didn't think Cooper was good. I just thought a first-round pick was a little too steep a price to pay for a receiver unless you feel like you can win right now. You only gave up a first for somebody if you feel like that's the one key piece you're missing, and you've got the puzzle pieces in place, minus that person that you're trying to get to win right now. That's the only reason you give up a first. And I did not think that our offense was that close, and that was before. I'm going to say before our defense really found itself, because they've been really pretty solid all year, but they have just entered another fucking zone during these last 5 games. These 5 wins. Especially against Arizona. New Orleans last week. That's fucking ridiculous. But we got to get it. There's no excuses. It's going to fly if we don't do it. Maybe Dak gets re-signed. I can pretty much guarantee you Garrett and Linehan ain't going anywhere because we're making playoffs. As far as Dak, I guess that depends on how far we go in the playoffs. If we lose, how do we lose? Is it because of him, et cetera, et cetera? But yeah, with this defense, I should not be as scared as I am about the offense. They've stepped it up during these last 5 games. Dak Prescott individually has stepped it up during the last 5 games. 2 things that concern me, like I said, is his fumbles, and especially, oh my fucking God, his deep ball accuracy. Oh my fucking God. And I know that people are going to mention the 2 big ones to Cooper. He missed Gallup wide open on the left like 3 times. He missed Cooper wide open like 3 other times, other than the 2 times he hit him for the big touchdowns. Dak's going to throw it up 10 times to a receiver that's got 10 yards of separation for a walking touchdown, and he's going to overthrow 7 of those motherfuckers. It's 2 things that he's got to control and reel in, because I don't know. But we will definitely see. And we've got Andrew Luck and the red hot 2 touchdowns. Okay, I thought it was 3. And we've got Andrew Luck and the Colts next week. Andrew Luck was amazing today. That game, as far as I'm concerned, really only matters for seeding. Because if you look at the standings, even though it's not mathematically official yet, it would take an absolute tragedy for anybody other than the Cowboys to win this division. We could literally lose out and still win the division. And it wouldn't even be hard to believe. It wouldn't even take a miracle for that to happen. That's how much of a stranglehold we have on it. But obviously, they always say, get hot at the right time, just get into the tournament, and then anything can happen. Everybody's 0-0. Cowboys have definitely gotten hot at the right time. Definitely at this point, you want to keep winning. You don't want to back into the playoffs for sure. You want to ride that momentum as long as you can. There's other arguments about that. Some people, if you've got a hot team at the end of the year, some people, I'd rather them lose one, when it doesn't really matter, and get it out of the way. Because then if we went out and go to the playoffs, we would be 11-5. We will have won 8 games in a row from starting 3-5. God, this seems like so fucking long ago. Yeah, remember the sky was falling? And then you'd have to win wild card, division, conference championship, Super Bowl. So that means 8 in a row. If you're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl and win it, if we don't lose any more games, you'd have to win 12 games in a row. So I could definitely see the other argument that you would almost rather than lose one at the end of the year when it doesn't really matter, just to kind of get it out of the way, and then you're not worried about, okay, this win streak keeps going, when it's going to stop, when they're going to lose finally. And it's just, scaring everybody. Everybody's nervous. They haven't lost in, 2.5 months. They're way past overdue for one. I get all of that, but I don't like backing into the playoffs either. Momentum, the value of momentum cannot be overstated, possibly in a million years in the playoffs. So I know I said 15 minutes ago that I was leaving, but I got on a subject there that I need to finish. Now I'm getting out of here. Talked a little bit longer than I usually like to post-game. If you guys have any questions, this was a live stream. The video itself will obviously be posted. You can comment on the post itself, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Have a good season, Eagles. How about them? Have a good off-season, Eagles. How about the Cowboys? Okay, I was about to say, I didn't see the off. I was like, have a good season, Eagles. What the fuck? Okay. Anyways, all that aside, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It's about this defense, guys. I liked the way that Nick Eatman put it. This last thing I want to say, he's a Dallas Cowboys staff writer. He's one of the hosts of the Cowboys Break radio show. I don't know if any of you watch that. I try to tune in every day. Some days I miss it. Go back and watch it on the app. Some days I don't even do that. Very big Romo supporter. He was the last guy to jump on the Dak bandwagon in 2016. That's what he's well known for. But I like the way he put it. He said, this doesn't start and stop with the defense. It starts with the defense, but it ends with Dak. The defense is our number one game plan going into every game. If we can hold them to this many points, but it ends with number 4. If number 4 has a shit game and throws 4 interceptions and fumbles twice, you have the most elite defense in the world. There's nothing that is going to overcome that kind of quarterback play consistently in the playoffs. You can do it for a game or two, but you cannot expect your defense to keep rising to that occasion week after week after week and just overshadowing the most piss-poor quarterback play you've ever seen. And Dak hasn't. And I'm not saying he's been the worst quarterback in the league. His play has stepped up and elevated during these last 5 games, but he needs to do a little bit better at the deep ball accuracy and the fumbles for sure. And 400 yards today and 3 touchdowns, can't hate on it. I can hate on the 2 picks. I can hate on the fumble because you can't be doing shit like that. But anyway, I've said a lot of the same things like 5 or 6 times. Can y'all tell I'm scared? Can you tell I'm scared? Hopefully not. I want it so bad. And I'm so proud of this defense and everything that they've done. I just hope that our offense can hold it together just enough or get it going, get that motor running right at the right time to help them out. Because it's, like I said, with this defense, anything less than playing for the NFC Championship is an absolute fucking tragedy. Anyway, you guys have a good one. How about them Cowboys? It did not mean to talk for an hour. I just got a lot of stuff to say, I guess. Let me know if people want either watching live or watching it after the fact. Let me know if you want me to continue doing live streams post game, or if you just want me to record a video and upload it. Because obviously, if I were to do the latter, if I was to just record a video and post it, it would not be 59 minutes. It would be more like 16 at the longest. And there would probably be more yelling and screaming involved because I don't have to distract myself with reading the comments. Not anything against the comments. I love you guys' inputs, but it's hard to get emotional and yell and scream and everything else when I'm focused on that. I suppose I could just turn it off, and then that defeats the purpose of a live stream. Live, I'm not interacting with you guys. Anyways, I'm rambling over my words now. So, how about them Cowboys? And we got the Colts next week. And if we win that game, I don't know who the Redskins are playing, but the Giants and the Eagles will probably be eliminated. Giants will be eliminated no matter what they do as long as we win, because we're 3 games up on them. And at that point, if we win, we'd be 3 games up at least with 2 games left, even if they win their game. If we win and the Eagles somehow miraculously beat the Rams, then we would be 2 games up with 2 games left, but we would hold tiebreak. So it'd pretty much be about what it is now, unofficially official. But if we win and the Eagles lose, which is what's more likely to happen, then we still have the tiebreak on. We're 2 games up on our closest competition, and we have tiebreak on both of them. And there's only 3 games left, so there's pretty much no way possible we're going to lose this. We could lose out and still win the division, and it wouldn't even be that hard to believe if it happened. It wouldn't even take a miracle for somebody else. We need this and this team to lose and all that shit. Defense needs to score, and we are in the fucking Super Bowl. Like I said, guys, with this defense, anything short of playing for the NFC Championship, I'm not even going to make you win it. I'll give you a mulligan and say, hey, we at least got there. We ain't even been there. When was the last time we were there? But with this defense, anything short of playing for the NFC Championship is a bust to me. I'm sorry. There's no reason why. But anyways, peace, guys. How about them Cowboys? And I will catch you guys later. Peace.